Hi, Mark Savage with Savage on Wheels. We're talking electric cars today. We don't get to do that very often. I think we had a Leaf a long time ago, and that's a little car, a nice little city car if you're just trying to get back and forth to work. This is the new Mustang Mach-E. This is the premium version, and it's got an extended battery, so that we got a little more power and a longer range. But, you know, Mustang, to me, is still a muscle car. You can call this a muscle crossover if you want, because there's plenty of power, and we'll show you that on the highway in a little bit. But to me, it doesn't feel like a Mustang. It looks a little like a Mustang, and Paul will show you here. We got, you know, they try to work on some styling for the nose to make it look a little more Mustang-y, and obviously we got the big logo. And I can tell you at night when the lights are off and the light comes out of the big mirror over here, it shines down a Mustang onto the pavement that's about this big, so that's kind of cool. Mach-E tells us we've got all electric power. It is a plug-in because otherwise how are you going to charge it back up all the time? This is the plugs right here, and this little light ring tells you how much power you got. So when I unplugged it this morning, all of those were lit up. If you only got a charge, it's only to here or whatever. But you can use the 120, you can use the 240. 240 gets you really quick charge, and that's what I think most of us would want. So if you're going to buy something like this, get a 240 outlet into your garage. The 110 is more like a trickle charge. It takes forever to charge this thing up. This was over a day to get me all charged up, and I'd started at 50%. So let's take a look at the back. And I think they've done a really nice job on the back end of this car. Again, of course, the big Mustang logo to kind of get you thinking Mustang fast and all that. But we got the triple bars here, which is what I think of as a Mustang's tail end. Another kind of an interesting feature here. Some people like it, some do not. This is how we open our doors now with just a little push button. They gave you a little pull to open the door here. That's pretty nice. And we'll show you inside in a minute, but we got a giant 15.5-inch screen. The back door does not have that same thing. You just punch the button, but you got to grab a hold of the edge of the door. That's a little bit iffier, I think. So we got 3 different drive modes in the electric Mustang, and we touched the little icon here. We call this up where we got unbridled is what we're in right now, which is for power because we're going to get on the highway. Whisper is what you would call normal mode, and you get the most power out of that regenerative braking. Engage is kind of in the middle. So moderate power, higher power, maximum power. And we're going to go up there and get on the highway. Now, this has 88 kilowatts worth of power, and when you charge it all up, we get about a 240-mile charge. They say 270 is possible. I haven't experienced that myself. And we got 346 horsepower, so that's plenty of horsepower. That's Mustang kind of power. I'm not so sure I feel this is a Mustang, but it's a nice crossover with plenty of power. And of course, guess what? We've got a policeman sitting right here on the ramp, so we probably won't go to the maximum power right this second. We will next time we get on the highway.
But officer.
Wow. Nothing that way, nothing this way.
Yep.
All right, boys and girls, here we go again. Getting onto the highway. Put it on unbridled. There we go.
Wow.
Here we go.
Wow.
Little over 100 down the entry ramp to the highway. That's what electric power is, instant, and that's what's nice is that we were on the power right away, and you know, you just keep on going, and it'll keep going. I believe the top speed is like 110 to 112 mile an hour, which most of the time none of us are going to need. But if you're afraid of electric cars because they aren't powerful enough, you're simply wrong.
Right.
They go, and we just saw this one goes, and quiet as can be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if like Paul and I, you like to hear that V8 or an engine rumbling a little bit back there, you miss that. But if you just want the power, we got the power. So a lot of fun. This one has the extended range battery that costs $5,000 extra. That gives you that little bit extra mileage. If it's a rear wheel drive only, it's 300 mile range. They say 270 for the all-wheel drive, which this is, which is nice to have here in Wisconsin because we have enough rain and slop and sleet and snow that it's good to have that extra traction. You know, there's a number of things you can do differently with the Mustang Mach-E. It comes in a various price ranges, which I know we've talked about. The base model comes with about a 266 horsepower, and that's one that you can actually get 300 miles of range if you put the long range or extended range battery into it. So, you know, that's going to be your best bet as a rear wheel drive if you're just wanting it for the long distance. And charging, again, is just a lot easier if you can get up to a 240 volt charger into your garage, and that gets you about 20 to 30 miles per hour of charge. So that's pretty quick. So I just think, you know, you can get this a number of different ways, so be sure you know what you want and what's most important to you if you're going to go this route. All right, so Mustang Mach-E. Again, I can't think of this as a Mustang because it's a crossover, but you can think of it however you'd like. Electric vehicles are still pretty rare. Obviously, Tesla has made a big deal out of this and has pushed the market. Now Ford has jumped in whole hog with this vehicle. And this one starts about $44,000. This premium model that I have here right now is more like $50,000, and then with the extended range battery and one option on it, $56,200. So certainly a premium vehicle, has a nice interior. It feels like a premium crossover vehicle. You got nice range, certainly better than we would have thought maybe even a couple of years ago. And it's a nice vehicle. It's a good 5-person crossover that has a lot of power, but it doesn't feel like a Mustang, doesn't really drive like you would think an old muscle car Mustang would drive. Anyway, I like it. I can't wait until I get a 240 charger in my into my garage though, because that's going to make it a lot quicker to get this thing charged up.